Hello, instructors. Now that we have looked at definition of Google Forms, their advantages and disadvantages, as well as their uses, we would now look at the actual creation of a Google Form. Kindly ensure you have your laptop or another device that you would be able to successfully follow along as I show you how we can create a Google form. Let's have some fun. So, in order to create a Google form for instructional purposes, the first thing we need to do is, if we are already logged into Google or Gmail, we can come here where we are seeing Google Apps. Then we scroll down and we look for forms. Remember, we must have a Google account in order to be able to create the forms. So we would click on forms and we would notice we are prompted with this. In some instances, it may open automatically. So we click on next, next, and ta-da, we are right in here. You would notice that there is a template gallery as well as any recent forms that would have been created by the user. Before we proceed to create our form, I am going to show you another alternative as it relates to logging in to Google or signing into Google in order to create your form. So the alternative is you can type in Google, right? You see the suggestion is already here, Google Forms. You can click here, go to Google Forms, and since I'm already signed in, it would carry me here. So I'm not going to use any of the templates from the template gallery. I'm going to go straight to blank. You should see a page looking like this. Okay, I would advise you the first thing to do is you can give your form a theme. You can customize the theme. If you notice, we are seeing purple. So in order to customize your theme, you would click here. And let's say I love orange. I would click on the orange and you notice that it has changed. Now I want to ensure that my participants are aware of the form that they are completing. So I would give my form a title. If you notice, we are seeing here untitled form. So let's say I would have completed a social studies lesson with the students, Form 1s, and I would like to assess them. My title here would be Social Studies Form 1G. Please, the family. So for whatever purpose you are creating that specific form, you would put the title that is relevant to the purpose for which you are creating such form. So if it's a survey, if it's a quiz, if it's for reflection purposes, whatever the purpose it is, you are going to put your title that is relevant right here. Our next step would be to give our form a description based on the title. So in this case, I am going to put this quiz assesses your understanding of the topic family. Please answer all of the following questions. You may also want to choose an image for your header. So let's go into choosing one that is relevant to the title at hand. So you can come here, you can choose something here if you so desire based on a theme relevant to what you're doing, or you can go to upload and select your own photo. So in my case, I'm going to select something that is relevant. Okay, and I'm going to click on done. Ah, there we have it. Also, I can change the colors of here. Again, if I so desire to make it look blend a little more with the header theme. I can also change the font style. To do so, you come here, font style. Ah, look at this. So I would stay with formal. So our next step would be to add questions for the students on the form. Remember, in my case, I am doing a quiz. However, those would be also applicable if you're doing a survey, if you plan to let the students do a reflection, if you plan to let them do an evaluation at the end of the content, the same would apply. So normally when the form is loaded, you would notice already they would have an area here that says question. Okay, so this is where you are going to put in the question for the students. And here you can select which one you are desirous of doing. So you can choose short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes. Also, you can choose drop down, file upload, linear scale, multiple choice grid, checkbox grid, and also include a date and time for the students to select based on the nature of what you're doing. Today, I am only going to show you to do short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, and checkboxes, since those can be used for any of the instructional purpose you so desire, whether it's for quiz, whether it's for evaluation, reflection, um, even to do a poll, right? So again, remember you choose your option here. I'm going to start with a multiple choice question. To do the multiple choice, you can choose to type your questions into the area, or you can use, let's say you already have a quiz you created before. So I'm going to head over to Microsoft Word, and I'm going to use a question I have here from a previous quiz. I'll just copy everything and I'm going to head back. Okay, so to make things easy, I'm going to, if you notice, this is a question here. I'm going to take out one. Then I'm just going to copy this, cut it out actually, and it would become my option one. Then I'm going to cut this again. So to add the options, you will simply go one option, and if you need another, in this case I'm going to put add another. Add again. Cut, remove up this, and then I'm going to put my final one. As I said, you can choose to copy from Word or you can just type. Add option again, and there we have it. So I'm going to remove this. Okay, so there we have our multiple choice question. And I can just exert those that are not important. So I have this. The next step would be to add another question. So to add another question, you would notice a plus sign here. I would come on add. And this time, instead of doing a multiple choice again, I'm going to select a short answer. And this time I will ask the students to explain one type of family. Okay. So they have this, they would be expected to write the answer here. And then I'm going to do another question. This time, I'm going to do this in the form of checkbox. So my question to the students would be, which of the following are functions of the family? So in this case, they will be provided with numerous options and they would check the boxes which are relevant to provide shelter. That's one option. I'm going to add another option. To provide love. Give them another option again. To provide educational materials. And I'm going to put and I'm going to put last one. Defend family members at all times. So let's see. I'm going to remove anything that should not be there. Now I'm going to add another question, this time in the form of a paragraph. So let's say I would like the students to view a video and then write something related to the video. In order to do that, what I'm going to do, and that is applicable for any other question, to add a video, you would come here, add video. Okay, you would source your link, get your URL. You can search for the video here or you can use your URL. In this case, I'm going to put in a URL. And to do that, I need to get it from YouTube. Let's say I want the students to reflect on this video. And I'm going to ensure that it's a Creative Commons video. Let me ensure. Right, so it's a Creative Commons video. So I'm going to source the link, and to do that, you click share. The link is right here. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to head back over to my form. So I'm going to enter the link here. And it's right here. So the next step would be to select, and our video is here. So I am going to put the instruction for the students. But before I do, let me give my video a title. That will be Types of Family. And then I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to say to the students, after viewing the video above, write a brief paragraph to summarize lessons learned from the video. In the event you did not want to put a video, but instead you wanted to put a picture, you would use the same principle. What you would do, you would look at add image, and we would come to upload, browse, and I'm going to look in my files to get something that I already have. And there I have a picture of a family. And again, I can do the same thing, the family. And I can also ask the students the same question after viewing. So I'm going to add a short answer, or I can do paragraph again. In this case, I'll do paragraph to give them enough space to write. So after viewing the video above, sorry, not video, that should be photo. Identify the family type above and also make them provide justification for your response. So there we have it. The students were given the opportunity to do a multiple choice, a short answer, checkbox. They have a video which they are expected to do a paragraph on, as well as they have a photo. You must bear in mind that you can tailor the form based on what you so desire to get from the students. So, for example, if it's a survey, some individuals may choose to stick to checklists, only giving them checklists. If it's a quiz, you can decide to mix it up. Even if it's an evaluation, you may choose to use various question tools here. So there is no hard and fast way of doing this. It's based on the nature of your form, what you so desire to achieve at the end of giving the students. And let's say you find that there's a question that you think should have been at the top. You can always rearrange it after. So let's say I think this should have been first. I would put my cursor here and I would simply drag right up to the top. So you would notice it has now been rearranged. Also, let's say I changed my mind and believe for this question I want to give the students a paragraph to write instead of just short answer. I can simply come here and change it. Or let's say I want to give them a multiple choice. Instead, I can change it here too, bearing in mind that I would need to put more options as it relates to multiple choices and checkboxes. So now that I am satisfied with my form and I am so desirous of sharing it, before I do that, I can simply preview. You would notice an eye here. I would click on the eye. Nice, and here I have my form. Okay, I can even try it out and see what happens. Again. Okay, so you see it's functioning. I can put in my answer here. Let me see if our video would play. Ah, so our video is playing. So I'm satisfied. What I would do now is click submit, and that's from the lens of a student. So I can head to settings to make some adjustments. So in the event I want to collect emails, I can click here where the respondents get receipts. I can also limit in terms of how many responses require signing in terms of limited to one response. So they are only able to respond once. But if it's a quiz, we want students to, try numerous times. So I will not limit that. You can also allow students to edit after they would have submitted. That again it depends on the nature of what you're doing. And you can allow respondents to see summary chats and text responses, sorry. Depending on the nature again, if it's a quiz, you wouldn't really want to do that so that everybody have access to everybody else's information. Presentation again, you can use those options to show progress bar, shuffle question order, so that when the students get in, they can, student A may see the questions in such an order, whereas student B may see it in a different order, as well as show link to submit another response. And you can give them a confirmation message indicating whether your response has been recorded, thank you for participation, or something to that effect. And you can also go to quiz setting. So in this case, I created a quiz. I can go to make this a quiz so that I can assign grades to the students. So immediately after each submission, they get the grade, or later after manual review, and decide which the students can see. If they can see if they missed a question, the correct answer, the points value. And I can simply save. So now that I'm satisfied, I want to share with my students. So I can simply come here, send. I can choose to send via emails. So if it's via email, I would have to put in the students' emails here. Let's say I created a group email. That would be easier instead of having to put in all the students' emails. Or I can come to the link here, copy the link. Let's say I have a WhatsApp group. I can send the link to the students so they can access from their phones or any other devices. So I copy here and send the link for the students. Or let's say I want to embed the code somewhere, whether it's within a learning management system or any other means, I would just copy the embedded link here and would put it in within the desired platform. So our students have responded to the questions, right? In order to see, I am going to come on responses. Remember, when I was doing the preview, I would have submitted a response. Okay, so you would notice it shows me here a summary of what happened in terms of what the responses were, what were my responses pretending to be a student, and for which question, what happened with the questions in terms of my responses. Okay, and when all the students responded, I would be able to look at it, each of their responses by name. In this case, I was the only one pretending to be the student, so it would not show all the students' responses here. And based on the students' responses, I can provide them with feedback going forward. So this ends our guide as it relates to creation of Google Forms for instructional purposes, be it for quizzes, be it for surveys, be it for evaluations or reflection exercises. The same principles would apply. You would have to determine, based on the nature, which form of questions you are going to provide the students with, be it multiple choice, be it short answer, paragraphs, checkboxes. It's totally up to you. You know the objectives that you are trying to achieve. So thank you for viewing. You would get the opportunity to create your own form. This would be an ungraded activity giving you the opportunity to practice. Thank you again for viewing.